Hey everybody, welcome to your March Central Phoenix market update. We are seeing some more positive signs in the market as the numbers gradually begin to improve. Now we really do, and I'm going to emphasize this a little bit later, but we really do have a tale of two markets. So stay tuned for some of the data. Let's get into the numbers. I'm going to rearrange the format of this a little bit. We have some new market indicators that we're going to be looking at. Just kind of want to hit the highlights first, and then the people that are really into the data can stick around for more of the in the weeds kind of data metrics later. So we start with months of supply. This number was climbing pretty quickly as we got new inventory for spring. Now we are beginning to see that number drop or flatten out a little bit. We are still at about 7 months of inventory, which is technically a buyer's market. Anything over 6 months is a buyer's market. So although we have improved some since our peak, we are still in a buyer's market. Contract ratio. Now, this is a new metric for us here on the channel. This is a ratio of the active homes to the number of homes under contract. The higher the number, the better for the market. A balanced market is a number between 35 and 60. Below 35 is considered to be a cold market. Above is considered to be hot. Right now, we are just below 25, so definitely a slow market. However, we essentially have two markets, single family and condo or attached. The single family market is much more balanced. Coronado, which is a neighborhood that I also track and has very few condos in the neighborhood, has gotten as high as 58 this year and is at 33 this week, so pretty well balanced overall. Central Phoenix neighborhoods like downtown and midtown have a lot of condos, and they definitely bring down the market temperature for the area as a whole. Average sale price over the last 30 days, this is about $75,000 higher than the 6-month average. So despite the fact that it's dropped a little bit, we will continue to see prices rise over the near term. Average sale price over the last 6 months, this is climbing very gradually. It's up about $10,000 or so far this year. So not a huge jump in the market, but we are seeing price improvements, which is better than what we were seeing on the latter half of last year. Number of active homes, we jumped from about 350 to about 500 between the beginning of January and mid-February and have stayed more or less flat since then. This is a good thing. Last year, we saw this number climb throughout the entirety of the year, more or less. So very good to see that it's at least flattening off some. Pendings peaked about mid-March, has dropped slightly, obviously because the number of actives are not climbing. This shows that we are more or less even with the number of new listings. New listings saw a peak in about mid-January or towards the end of January, actually, and we are averaging about 30 per week now. Sold over the last 30 days, we are starting to see the January and early February contracts begin to show up here. We've seen about a 30% jump in closings over the last few weeks. Sold over the last 6 months, this number has climbed since about the end of February. Still not as high as at the peak that we were at in January, but are seeing some increase there. Average days on market, both closed and pending. You can see that the closed is dropping pretty steadily as we see kind of the best listings that have hit the market in the new year start to close. And meanwhile, the actives had bottomed out a few weeks ago and are now starting to rise again. That's showing that some of the condos and then some of the not properly positioned single-family listings are now starting to gain market or days on market. There you have it, folks. Our Central Phoenix market update for March 2026. As you can see, we are seeing some gradual improvements in those numbers overall. Still not in what I would call a healthy market. I don't think it would be considered to be a healthy market overall. It's more of a buyer's market than it is a seller's market overall. Now, like I said, that depends on what part of the market you are in. So if you are looking to sell a Central Phoenix single family home, there's still kind of in short supply and it's more of a buyer's market. If you have a condo on the market and you do not need to sell, honestly, it is not a great time to sell. I keep track of numbers for downtown and midtown, and those two neighborhoods are almost at a year and a half of inventory right now. So again, if you have a house to sell, it's a great time. If you are looking at condos in Central Phoenix in particular, you might hold off if you don't need to sell right now. If you have any questions for me, you can call me at 480-694-7643 or message me here on this app, and happy to help out in any way I can.